How do there, chums? 'Tis I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, I'm going to go do a base tour of inside of No Man's Sky. So the other day, I done a video on speculation, and I used a really cool image as a thumbnail of a base. This base that we're going to go and visit and feature. So yeah, hope you enjoy the video. So here we go, let's hit on up the code. So I'm using a reflection, a sunset, and an eclipse. And the last of this 4 sequence is an eco or birdieman bird. Now for the next 4, we need a triforce, and a black hole or whirlyman twirlyman thing, and another triforce. Followed by, lastly, for this 4 sequence, we're looking for, where are you? There you are, a dragon fly. Brilliant. Next up, we want another eclipse, and a boatyman boat face, followed by a rocket, and a dragon fly. Brilliant, that's the code entered. Now this is in Euclid and it's in normal mode. So let's jump on into this whirling blue extravaganza. Important announcement time, people. Yeah, I don't often do base tours. Now, I do use certain bases as tests and go and revisit to see if they render. And I'm still having rendering issues on some of the larger, more complex bases. Now, this is quite a large, complex base, and it's actually a collaborative build. There's actually 3 bases here. I urge you to visit all of them. But for whatever reason, it seems to have rendered in fine. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this base visit. Important announcement, over. Righto, well, I've arrived located on this beautiful world that seems to have storms pretty much a constant. Righto, when it said they're discovered by, had a name that I'm not familiar with. Now, by the looks of things, this was a collaboration build. There are actually 3 bases in a very small cluster. I'm just going to show you the featured one that Sean Murray put up, which is the centralized base that this base is sort of hinged around and built upon. But trust me, you do want to check out the other 2 bases because they really do add to the ambience of this base build. So yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you. I would like to encourage people to come and visit. However, you know, this is somebody else's build. This is what people have put together, and it was a collaboration between the 3 of them. I wouldn't put down any bases in close proximity. In fact, I wouldn't put down bases at all here, you know, without sort of approaching them, just for sheer courtesy reasons, to be honest. And plus, you don't want to sort of litter this place with sort of bases because it may upset the rendering. Now, for me, the rendering on this one was extremely good. So I haven't had it rendering this good for some time, so maybe I was extremely lucky. But here we go, let's head on down, and we're heading over to the archive, which is over here. But you can see here there are other base markers in very close proximity to this one. Yeah, and I'm going to reiterate it. Please do not build bases in this area without sort of approaching those that already have bases established here. Coolio, and I'm touching down, and I'm jumping out of my ship, and we're going to be doing a little mini tour of this area. So you can see here it is built around an archive, and what I love about building at an archive is you've got NPC ships that are going to be landing and taking off and flying around to give a real sense of sort of life. Plus there's also NPCs that will be walking this mezzanine and also frequenting some of the actual stores or shops here, like vendors. It's going to look fairly alive in comparison to other bases. I like all the use of the neon signs and the decals, but I'm going to do a camera sort of tour of this place in a moment. But take a listen. It appears to be that there is a bite beat here. As far as bite beat goes, that's actually a pretty darn groovy bite beat, and I'm loving your droids that you've created out of these sort of cylinders. Very nice. Anyway, let's jump into camera mode and let's have a little butcher's about the place. And look, you've got yourself a robotic butcher. He looks like he's got a meat pie in his little beady eye, well, inside of his hand. How freaking ace is that? You've got yourself a chef robot. That's very nice. I'm loving what you've done here. It just feels so alive. It just feels very organic. And look, you can see there that he's actually got some of the base terminuses there, for like the scientist and things. So I guess for your home space, this would have even more NPCs than what we're actually seeing, and probably gotten some real good, decent use as being a hub to start each of your adventures. You know what? I might have to go and do something fairly similar at an archive of my own and build something like this, because what an awesome sort of idea, especially inside of my hub. If I could build something like this inside of the NMSA, it could be a really cool place to sort of start my adventures and my videos. Or even if I have people to come and join me for little mini interviews or chats, I could build my own little mini city like this. I think you've given me some inspiration and some thought for my own sort of archive base. Now, I have tried this in the past, but what I found is the archive actually sunk by about 3 feet, and from that my base just was disjointed away from my archive, so I've been a little bit nervous about doing it. But then, you know, this is rendered in beautifully well. You haven't got that problem, and this is far better than anything that I have built to date. I mean, when I did it was before we got all the introduction of all these new base parts. But you know what? These new base parts really play into the archive's architectural look and feel when you're using the metal plate. I freaking love this. And yes, it's definitely something that's given me inspiration for creative juices to flow, and I'm going to be sort of half nicking your idea, but I don't think it's going to be anything on par with this. This is freaking amazing, and it's very, very cool. So yeah, you people out there in the viewerverse, you didn't know what was in store when I hit up that portal code, did you? So you know what? I'm going to give you that portal code again. Get ready to take a print screen. There we go. I've made it as big as I can on screen for you. This is in Euclid. It's in normal mode. And yeah, come here, take some creative notes, and perhaps build one of your own, because this is freaking ace. Love this idea. Love this base, and it's brilliant. It really is. And I feel honoured to be doing a little mini tour of it. So yeah, hopefully it's going to bring a bit of attention to your collaboration build and get a few people here visiting. If you are going to leave comms balls, people, perhaps leave them at the portal when you arrive or when you leave, or jump back through the portal or whatever. But yeah, don't sort of build any bases or leave comms balls all over the base area, because that can destroy other people's enjoyment of said base and visitation. So yeah, thanking you very much, people in the community. I know that you're very good at adhering to sort of, you know, community sort of, I don't know what to call it really, etiquette. Etiquette is probably the best sort of word for it, isn't it? Anyway, so yeah, I need to find the actual base, don't I? The actual base computer, so I can give credit where credit's due to this actual build. So where is the base computer? Oh look, there's NPCs landed in ships like I was mentioning earlier, and look at these freaking decals and these boards. Really is awesome. Anyway, I haven't gone in many buildings, have I, as yet? So let's venture inside of buildings. So we've got staircases up to pretty much nowhere. Okay, brilliant. Okay, we'll head back down the staircase then. Probably not the best building to go inside of. I think this is more for aesthetics though, isn't it? All these base sort of... Oh, there's a robot down here. Hello. Oh, he wasn't here a second ago. Or have I just got lost? I'm going to turn my torch on because I'm getting very sort of lost and turned... Oh, there we go. It's a little alleyway. What an awesome base. Yeah, look at those freaking decals and how they all light up. These energy boards are awesome. It's got a very cyberpunk-esque feel to it, hasn't it? One of these had a little mini kitchenette in. Oh, look, we've got a little place where we can sit with a nice little rug. I'm going to have a little sit on this chair. Yeah, sorry about that table. I just phased through you. Oh, that's freaking ace, isn't it? That is really, really cool. You could just sit here. I know it's raining and stuff, and this planet is very stormy. But you know what? I think it adds to the ambience of it. How all the sort of metal plating glistens inside of the rain is pretty darn sweet on the PS5. Righto, so there we go. Let's go into camera mode, and then I'm not going to move when I'm moving around. But that is really freaking great. I like the use of the decals. I like all the billboards. I like all the sort of... You see the signs that have got the writing on? I really like the use of those where you've actually stood them upright next to doorways as well, to sort of make it look like it's actual signage to pinpoint what buildings do or whatever. Very nice idea, that one. Very cool. Loving it. It's really, really awesome. And look, you've got the orange and the green sort of digital display boards. Some people haven't got those. I think one of them's a legacy part. But yeah, the way that you've actually aligned some of these decals is really quite creative in itself. There we go. Let's put the sun in the sky so you can see this a little bit better. But you know what? It looks great at night. It looks great in the day. It looks great all the freaking time. You've done yourself proud here, people. This is awesome, because I'm saying people because it does say collaborative. At least I think that's what it says, because it's not in my native language of English. Oh fudge, it looks like I've just fallen through the world. So yeah, this has been a bug for some time. I forgot about this. If you're sitting down and you go into camera mode, this is what happens when you try to come out of camera mode. You fall through the world. So yeah, just keep that in mind, people. Yeah, that's been reported to the actual Zendesk. It's also been linked and put all over Twitter space. But no, it's still here as a bug. It still remains. But yeah, hopefully it will get fixed soon. Well, okay then. Well, let's head on back up and we'll go see if we can find this base computer. Yeah. Well, we reconvene on the mezzanine. Right, and I'm going to be running down said broad walk. Yeah, down the broad walk. Dun, 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 and down the broad walk. Oh yeah, look, and I love your portal placement. Very nicely done there. Yeah, so let's give credit where credit is due to the actual last person who edited this base, because you're freaking awesome. And let's head on over. And it says last edited by Captain Steve. Yeah, no, I'm not the awesome person that built this. I'm really not. It's just another bug within sight of the iteration, which has been here since time began. And it's a shame. When it says logged in a guest, it's a shame that we can't sign a guest book to say that we've been here, so it lists everybody that's visited the base. That'd be freaking excellent if it did something like that. Bit odd to have a logbook that doesn't log anything. But anyway, credit where credit's due. Abella, freaking mind-blowing base. Heck yes. And until next time, people, you have been awesome, people in the viewerverse. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe. And I'd like to say a massive, great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers. And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.